Some egg brands treat their chickens and farmers just right, while others are hiding behind brutal and dangerous practices. Here are the best and worst brands to keep an eye out for. To determine the best and worst egg brands, we looked for transparency in their practices, as well as humane conditions for the egg-laying hens and dedication to animal welfare. We also looked at patterns of FDA citations, recalls, and repeat links to outbreaks of salmonella and other pathogens. We considered good customer reviews as well. Perhaps surprisingly, there was one factor that wasn't a deal-breaker either way: nutrition. In 2021, the CBC extensively tested the nutritional value of 14 different brands to see if organic eggs from small farms were more nutritious than factory farm eggs. They ultimately found that there were no noteworthy differences in vitamin content between them. Some organic eggs contained more protein and some vitamins, but determining precise numbers was difficult because of differences between birds.
Eggs. Yep.
The Cornucopia Institute is one of the United States' biggest watchdog groups that monitors organic products and companies. When it comes to the Institute's organic egg scorecard, New York's 8 Mile Creek Farm is the one to beat. The small-scale farm scores major points across the board, particularly in its care of hens. They're kept in small flocks, have access to indoor and outdoor spaces, and alterations like beak trimming don't happen. The family-owned 8 Mile Creek Farm has also gotten high marks for its other organic products, including vegetables, pork, chicken, and beef. All of their chickens reportedly live to the end of their full natural lives, with fewer than 2% of the flock dying prematurely. They've impressed the Cornucopia Institute to the tune of a total score of 1705 out of a possible 1800. Customers can find eggs from the small-scale, California-based Happy Hens farm in stores across Orange County and San Diego. That limited availability is a big part of their appeal. The company is lauded for purchasing organic feed from local suppliers, as well as their relatively small flock sizes and unique coop setup. The flocks live in mobile coops that are moved every few days to allow the birds access to fresh pasture. Vulnerable chickens are protected by dogs and a donkey. Owner Chloe Navarez explained to the Cornucopia Institute that outside chickens are happy chickens. As she put it, you can see it in the way they look and observe the difference in their psyche. Reviewers on Yelp have raved about Happy Hens, with one declaring, "They have the freshest eggs, which is why we don't go anywhere else. Once you have Happy Hens, you never go back." And another proclaimed, "You see the difference because size and color are so very unlike all nice-looking store-bought eggs. Since the eggs are so fresh, you can eat them raw." Farmers' henhouse eggs have been racking up the unconditional love in their online reviews, with one person raving on Target's site, "This is the original OrgaNick, and they are the nicest, humble people you will ever meet." Customers also love the fact that these eggs come packaged in a biodegradable container. Farmers' Henhouse has a fascinating setup in place for obtaining eggs. To keep small-scale family farming sustainable, they source them from mostly Amish and Mennonite farms. Within just a 6-mile radius, they contract with more than 100 family-owned farms that still practice sustainable methods passed down through generations.
We feel like if we give the birds a better life, they're going to produce a better egg, and usually you can tell.
Hens are raised with protected access to the outdoors. They're certified humane, and the company has been praised for transparency. In addition to Target, Farmers' Henhouse eggs can be found nationwide at a variety of grocery stores, including Sprouts. Organic Pastures is based in Wisconsin, but they're large enough to ship their eggs nationwide. It's a staple at the Sprouts grocery chain, where it enjoys a solid reputation according to online reviews. It's also highly rated by the Cornucopia Institute, as the chickens have access to outdoor space, and the organic farm is certified for humane care and doesn't use GMO feed. All of the eggs come from 2 family-owned farms in Wisconsin that were built and designed to produce responsibly sourced products. The farm's hens lay brown and cream-colored eggs, but there are also blue and green ones in the mix as well. As of 2024, the organic pasture-raised eggs from Vital Farms have more than 14,000 ratings on Amazon, with an average score of 4.8 out of 5 stars. Some reviewers have even taken issue with the relatively few complaints, with one announcing, "Come on, people, do you think eggs are one size fits all and the farmer gets to fire chickens that don't make perfect eggs?" When all the eggs in one container are identical or nearly so, it's a sure sign that the chickens were raised in a factory farm setting. setting. Vital Farms, on the other hand, focuses on what it calls restorative eggs. This means that chickens are raised on farms dedicated to rotating cover crops and a variety of plant and animal life meant to keep soil and local water systems healthy. On top of all that, the Cornucopia Institute gives Vital Farms high marks for their packaging, which is made in part from the fibers of those responsibly rotated cover crops.
We strive to continue raising the bar one egg at a time.
One of the biggest hurdles in sourcing responsibly raised eggs from small-scale farms is accessibility. Everyone would love to have a mom-and-pop farm down the street, but that's just not always feasible. Fortunately, there are some good, widely available options out there, including Sauder's. They're found nationwide, including stores like Sam's Club. Sauder's has been around since the 1930s. Nowadays, they barcode their eggs, and if you enter your code into their website, it'll direct you to the farm that the egg came from. Their Cornucopia Institute score isn't nearly as high as other smaller-scale farmers, but that's understandable as a trade-off for accessibility. Fortunately, there are still some things that set Sauder's apart. Chickens are given access to outdoor areas and not just a token patch of grass that some companies use to claim they sell pasture-raised eggs without really putting in the legwork. Plus, contracted farms are inspected on an annual basis, and the eggs are certified humane.
You see, an egg isn't just an egg.
Now onto the disappointing eggs, like Hillandale Farms, which sells eggs under the brand names of Hillandale and Eggland's Best. The latter is widely lauded for its nutritional value, but there's a whole slew of problems that just can't be overlooked. That includes a 2015 expose by the Humane Society, which released an undercover video that exposed brutal farm conditions, including cramped chickens in dirty cages that were side by side with dead and rotting birds. In fairness, Hillandale responded that this wasn't the norm, and they were ultimately cleared of all animal abuse charges. That hasn't been the only problem, though, as Hillandale has been connected to multiple egg recalls after thousands of people grew sick with salmonella. One outbreak in 2010 was hardly surprising, as Hillandale head Jack DeCoster had already been handed millions of dollars in fines for repeat health violations. That same year, he admitted to multiple counts of animal cruelty. Then, in 2020, New York State went after Hillandale for price gouging during the COVID-19 pandemic. As a result of the company's actions, egg prices quadrupled in some places. To settle the suit, the company agreed to send 1.2 million eggs to New York food banks, shelters, and soup kitchens. Lathem Family Farms eggs can be found in multiple chain stores, but those cartons carry an uncomfortable history. In 2016, President David Lathem protested the cage-free initiatives meant to create a more humane life for millions of chickens. Even though the rollout was to take place over at least a decade, he condemned the standards as chaotic and impossible. Lathem Family Farms has also been on the receiving end of some pretty gross warnings from the FDA. It's worth noting that these official letters have come after companies have been given adequate time to fix the problems. One 2023 citation revealed that the company was found to have a strain of salmonella in its poultry houses, as well as its processing facility environment. Furthermore, Lathem apparently had no procedures in place to control salmonella strains, growths, and outbreaks. Stray animals including cats and foxes were found living among the chickens, which were themselves living in improperly cleaned cages with manure, and pests such as flies and rodents were found in the chicken feed.
Doesn't it make you want to cry?
Something like that. Excuse me.
Cal-Maine Foods found itself getting some very bad press when General Mills, Kellogg, Kraft, and Nestle got together to file a price-fixing lawsuit against the company. They claimed that Cal-Maine had violated antitrust laws to inflate egg prices. The initial judgment in December 2023 awarded the four companies $17.7 million, though it was still possible that the fines would end up much higher. And that's not the only bad news, as there have also been allegations of animal abuse at Cal-Maine Farms. In 2018, a video recorded in Polk County, Florida, documented cockroach-infested cages holding chickens that slowly starved to death and were left rotting alongside living birds. Chickens that escaped their cages were brutally killed by workers. Another investigation at a Texas farm found hens being kept in similar conditions. It's perhaps unsurprising then to learn that Cal-Maine has also been behind major egg recalls for salmonella contamination. In 2010, 288,000 eggs were recalled, some of which were sent to distributors even after salmonella was found in the supply line. That announcement came on the heels of another recall that saw 800,000 eggs pulled from shelves over similar concerns. Additionally, Cal-Maine spent more than $500,000 opposing legislation that would ban battery cages in egg production. Acre Farms claims that it is family-owned with small-town values. They also tout a commitment to quality and care and include a Bible verse on their main webpage. But there are plenty of instances of Acre failing to live up to their own supposed standards. In 2023, for example, they were part of the price-fixing lawsuit that was also brought against Cal-Maine Foods. Acre has also been at odds with the Humane Society of the United States, even ending up in court over an alleged pattern of deceptive and false advertising. The complaint claimed that Acre eggs were advertised as the product of humane and responsible conditions, while Humane Society investigations found exactly the opposite. The company was also at the center of a salmonella outbreak in 2018, and it was reported that the facility in question had already been dealing with a runaway infestation of rodents. Acre has also been featured in undercover videos filmed by Humane Society employees to shine a light on the unthinkably cruel conditions that hens are kept in. In 2011, the New York Times reported on one of these videos, and Acre then overhauled its hiring practices to make it harder for whistleblowers to gain access. With the rash of poor living conditions for countless farm hens, it makes sense that there are plant-based alternatives on the market. But alas, it turns out that those alternatives aren't as wonderful as you might hope. Plant-based egg substitutes might have lower cholesterol, but that doesn't necessarily make them better for you. As Bonnie Tab Dix, RDN, noted to Healthline, recent research shows that you no longer need to restrict dietary cholesterol from eggs, since there wasn't a strong connection made between dietary cholesterol and blood cholesterol levels. An egg a day is not associated with heart disease among healthy people.
And there's not even a worry as there used to be about the cholesterol.
Nope.
Plus, plant-based eggs are missing the protein found in real eggs. That brings us to Just Egg, which relies on mung bean protein. Alas, its ingredients also include the likes of added sugars, preservatives, and something called transglutaminase, which can impact food allergies. In 2023, Wired did a deep dive into the Just Egg company and made some troubling discoveries. At the time, the company was facing a series of lawsuits from a former partner and from vendors who claimed millions in unpaid bills. They were also being sued by an engineering firm for millions in unpaid work, a landlord for millions in unpaid rent, and a bioreactor firm for about $100 million in unpaid invoices.